So, are you ready for a new episode here with Liza Faye? Oh, I am! We all go through difficult times, and most of us go through those difficult times alone. That's fine if you want to go through things alone. I did that too. But whenever you feel like going out of your alone time and you feel like connecting to another sentient being, well, that's why I'm doing this. Just keeping a space for you to be with somebody. I'm Liza Faye. Nice to meet you, or nice to be with you again. And let's journey this crazy, beautiful thing called life. Today, we'll talk about unique story. So if you haven't read the poem or if you haven't listened to it, I have put the links below where you can read it and listen to it before we go on with the show. So if you haven't read or listened to it, pause right now and listen or read that poem. But for those who already have read or listened to the poem, here we go. I wrote this story because I was feeling a bit envious of other women who had happy lives in relationships, because I'm not in any relationship right now, and for the longest time I have not been in any relationship. So I thought that if I only had a man in my life, maybe I would also be happy. But then I met women who had men in their lives but were not happy. They were actually more miserable than me. And so it made me think. So it's not always relationship equals happiness. It's not always like that. And that's when I realized all of our stories are unique. Well, maybe some of our stories are similar, and that's why it's easy for us to empathize with each other if we have similar life stories or circumstances or disappointments or failures or success or anything. But there is no exactly the same life story. It's always unique to you. To me, my story is unique. Your story is unique. It's never going to be the exact same story for any two people here on earth. And so it made me realize that there's really no need to compare my life with another person's life. But I would love to learn from somebody else's life. I love hearing other people's stories, not to gossip about them, okay? I love listening to other people's stories because I want to see their stories of endurance. I want to see their stories of pain. I want to see how they overcame pain. I want to see how they survived life. I want to see how they went from survival to living life. And that's what I look forward to. I want to learn from people, and that's why I want to listen to their stories. And one thing that I always say, comparing your story to other people's story will just kill your soul. So why do it? Why do we even do it? I still do it, honestly. And then when I catch myself comparing myself to another person's story, I tell myself, hold on, Liza Faye, stop right there. You cannot compare, because your story is unique and his or her story is unique. But if it's similar, then you can empathize with each other. I always say to myself that I think I learned also from someone. I'm sorry, I can't remember. Whoever you are, thank you. The only time you compare yourself is comparing your old self to your present self, or comparing your present self to your old self. Like, has your present self learned from your old self, or was your old self better that your present self has to learn from that old self? Have I grown from my old self to my present self, or was my old self actually better than what I am right now? So it's the only healthy comparison that I will always allow myself to intentionally do. Because comparing myself to others, it's never going to work, because my circumstances are different. My upbringing is different. My life situation is different. My financial status is different. My relatives are different. My siblings are different. We can never have the exact same story. And so I wrote this poem in an effort to encourage as many as I can to we can't really stop comparing ourselves from others. But once we are aware that we are comparing ourselves with other people, we can tell ourselves, hold on, pause. Let's not compare. Let's learn from that person. So instead of comparing, let's learn from other people's stories. Let's learn from her. Let's learn from him. Let's learn from them. Instead of, how come I don't have what they have? How come she's better? How come he is happier? No. Let's not go there. Your story is always going to be unique. My story is always going to be unique. And that's something that's always going to be true. Even if you clone yourself, if cloning is a thing, you won't even have you even tried asking Gemini the same question? And every time you ask the same question, there's a different answer. If AI is like that, how much more our lives? Each of us has a unique story. So try hard, your hardest, not to compare your life with others. So, what's your unique story? If you allow me, I'd love to hear your story. Who knows, maybe we're in a similar situation or something in the past, your past, my past, that are kind of similar where we can empathize with each other. I'll be more than happy to listen to you or read your chats to me. So I've put links below here in the description where you can chat with me or send me a message, or you can just comment below here in this episode, and I'd love to start a conversation with you. So that's it for today. I hope this poem encouraged you a bit not to compare yourself as much as you can to other people, and to always tell yourself whenever you're tempted to compare yourself that no, my story is unique from that person. I'm going to compare myself with my own self, because that's the healthiest. It's the only healthy comparison there is in terms of life. So thank you for being here with me. I look forward to being with you on the next episode here with Liza Faye.